Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Here on the daily time frame, Bitcoin is currently, still holding support. And there is currently no evidence that a more substantial top has formed. I have to say, though, we are, and that's mainly a message for everybody who's new on the channel, we are in a situation where Bitcoin could form a major top at any point. It could have topped already. Bitcoin could have topped already. I've been talking about this for the last 1.5 months since we've entered this price region, that we are now in a topping area, in a major price top area, that I don't necessarily expect a top has formed yet. Okay, so we still would like to see maybe one more high. That would be my ideal scenario, that this move to the upside, which is currently unfolding, is forming like one more high into the region of around 130k. That would certainly be ideal. And that's what I'm watching for, right? That's what I'm watching for. At the same time, however, we are in a region where a top could form at any point. We're talking here about the last move up in this cycle that is needed to really complete a full Elliott Wave cycle from the November 2022 low. Okay, so just to show you again, we have quite a strong move up from the 2022 low. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, Wave 4, Wave 5. And it really ideally only needs one more high. Now, can I rule out that it's already topped? No, I can't. So that's why I'm warning in the current price region. I think a few people have called it top already. Not necessarily anybody let's say, I would trust myself, but I know a few people already talk about the top could be in or something. I don't see any evidence for that. It would just be opinion. It would just be an opinion, not based on data, in my opinion, right? What the data tells us, though, is that we are in a larger topping region. So while forming a substantial low is usually an event and is quite easy to spot, because typically there's a lot of panic in the market. Typically, especially crypto bottoms are followed by a V-shaped recovery because the indicators are typically oversold. It's not that easy to spot, let's say, a market top, especially a substantial top. It's not that straightforward. So that's why I usually say that putting a low in place is an event, and putting a top in place is a process. And so I'm watching for those signals. Again, I don't want to scare anybody, but I think we are there in the region where that could happen. I would still love to see one more high. Therefore, I'm not calling a top yet. And even if we arrive there at around 130k, I'm not going to call a top, because one of the biggest mistakes people make is they get too bearish too early. Now, all I would do at this point is to manage risk in a way that I'm happy with my long-term positions. Because what happens if we already topped, right? If you're in a situation where you are not happy with your long-term positions, you would even not be willing to hold them maybe a couple of years, then I think you need to work on that, because the top could have formed. I can't promise it, right? At this stage, though, it's not primarily what I'm expecting. I'm actually watching for one more high. I think I've been clear about that while highlighting the risk. So that means, though, that I see this here as a pullback in a still unfolding uptrend. And this wave 4, this pullback, which might have started end of November, well, it could be done. It could have finished already. Sometimes wave 4 pullbacks on crypto chart, especially Bitcoin charts, on the Bitcoin chart, they are shallow sometimes. So the main question at the moment that is on the daily chart, the main question we're dealing with on the daily chart is, do we get one more high? And at the moment, my assumption would be yes. The main question on the shorter time frame chart is the low already in the wave 4? So are we already on our way higher, or do we get a wider wave 4 correction? And the levels that will tell us about that can be found on the smaller time frame. So let's go here to the smaller time frame chart. This is the smaller time frame, and the price really hasn't moved much since the last update. What the market has done today, it moved into that blue target zone, which is a relevant target zone that we talked about in the first video today. And 97,717 is a crucial level, because based on the internal structure here of the rally that started on the 30th of December, the ABC pattern that we are looking at here, the ideal target for that C wave is that 100% extension. So the market has now reached, it's a pretty full C wave. It's a pretty full ABC structure to the upside that formed from the 30th of December low. It doesn't mean we have to have topped, but I posted it earlier today on Discord that it's a pretty complete structure. So some kind of a pullback should happen from here. Should, not will, but should. Or let's say not necessarily will. It should. Even though, of course, I can't rule out another high. But what you see here on the chart is as well what a 5-wave move up would look like. So why is that important? Because in the white scenario, we could call this an A, B, C structure. And I can call the B wave here a WXY pattern. So I just want to show you what it would look like if the market forms a top here already. Then we would probably see a break first below 94,645. This is here the support region that you see on the chart. Yeah, 94,645 to 95,800. This would need to break first to indicate that some kind of a top is in place in wave B. And it would need to be further confirmed with a break below that 92,800 level, the low that formed on the 1st of January. Why is this support area so important? Because as long as it's holding, we could get one more high. And one more high, so one more higher low and one more higher high is needed for a first 5-wave pattern to the upside. And that would be a first solid confirmation that this larger 4th wave that we talked about here on the daily time frame, that it actually formed a low. Okay, so that's very important. We need that first 5-wave move up. Now, is a 5-wave move up a guarantee that we've bottomed? No, of course not. What if this white B wave is, instead of a WXY pattern, it is an ABC? Then the C wave could also be a 5-wave move, but it's still the first solid signal that we've bottomed. The market would need to prove that by holding a higher low in the pullback. So this could be then a wave 1, and this could be a wave 2. But obviously, if we break below support, that's it. So any possible upside reversal signal, Elliott Wave pattern, will need to be proven in the subsequent correction anyway. It doesn't matter because there's not a good point to buy after 5 waves up anyway, right? The time to buy is typically in support, not when we have all 5 waves completed. So we can also in a very relaxed way, just wait for that pullback to play out and then observe that support area to see if there's any reaction or not. So this is going to be key. At the moment here, as I said, the main focus on the smaller time frame is about is a low in or is a low in already or not. The potential, while at the moment without a 5-wave move up, I can't confirm the low is in. As long as we're holding above 94,645 now, the potential remains alive, right? And the local trend is up. That's how I see the Bitcoin chart at the moment. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.